Welcome to Graveyard Crypto. Today's date is November 25th. Today's topic is going to be about crypto scams and basically the scams of all scams in crypto, because there's a lot of them out there. And for anybody that's new to this, you might get sucked into one. So it's definitely something that you should be aware of when you're doing anything. And we'll just get right into it. I'm going to share my screen and demonstrate on how these scams are, because right now this is our YouTube channel right here, and if you look at the comments you can see this guy Simon Calder is basically saying, oh, let's invest here and you can make some profits by just doing I can't even look at it. I can't even read it because it's just, I know it's so full of baloney and BS that it just, and the crazy thing is if you look here, it's probably one guy or two guys with multiple accounts. And then if you see here, they're investing in crypto is the best way of making money. I will contact her right now, and it's just crazy. Like, oh, I turned 5.5 Bitcoin with 1.5 Bitcoin in a month. Like, wow, that's
That sounds too good to be true.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, and most of the time you see something like this, the guy goes, listen, you just give me your information, and by send me 1 Bitcoin, and that's how we'll start. And you send this person a Bitcoin, and guess what? You never get it back. You never hear anything. And this is the reason why I actually left this on our channel, because I was going to demonstrate, like, wow, right away. I mean, we not that many, was out there for a day, and bang, it gets hit with these things. And if you go to a lot of YouTube channels, they do this all the time. It could be something as simple as them pretending to be the actual user on YouTube. So let's say it's Graveyard Crypto, and you go in there, and next thing you know, Graveyard Crypto is responding, and they're saying, hey, I have some stuff for you. Listen, anything that's on there, it's most likely a scam. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes people could reach out to you, but if it's not going to be somebody asking for money that is running a channel or something like that, unless it's directly with their own website. So you guys, everyone's got to just make sure you do your research and you look into this stuff. And now another part is, when you get into that, you go in here and you go to this guy right here, right? Everybody knows this guy, Carlos Matos, or whatever his name is, and world famous video.
Bitconnect.
Well, we can't see it, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah, you gotta switch your browser. You gotta switch the browser that you're on.
So my point is, I don't know why it wasn't working, but the thing is if you look, that was another kind of scam, Ponzi scheme. And Greg, you personally know about that, right? Because you got sucked into that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is when prices go crazy, you start to get careless as euphoria sets in, and you become more susceptible to scams, or you just think everything's going to work out, so you start getting lazy with some of your actions. So, I mean, Bitconnect was interesting just because you'll see different YouTubers just pop up and become popular all of a sudden, and I don't usually trust YouTubers unless they show their face, because when they're just kind of behind the keyboard and showing some charts and talking about all this amazing opportunity and crazy returns, you better show your face. Who was the guy that did shows? There was a few people that did.
Crypto Nick, you ever remember that one?
Yeah, Crypto Nick. He was like a young teenager,
and he was doing great. And next thing you know,
he was killing. I mean, it was a classic pyramid scheme, right? Or Ponzi.
And he might not even have known what he was doing either.
Yeah,
he could have got sucked into it, and he was getting all these people like referrals, because that's how you did it. You get the more referrals you got, the more money you got.
Right. It was a classic pyramid Ponzi. So you
Right.
recruit people, everyone, it's an umbrella pyramid under you that just collects, it feeds up.
Yeah.
Um, and it was working so long as the Bitcoin price kept increasing. But, right when it started going down, that's when things started falling apart. So, and it was just, they shut it down like all of a sudden. And if you had your shit stuck in their browser or whatever there was, it was stuck there and went to zero, basically. Yeah, that was a crazy time.
And if you look too, let me just see. I want to show something. They actually had. I know they had a token. I guess was
Bitconnect
it.
token.
And what's funny about that is
Actually, the symbol was BCH, just like Bitcoin Cash.
yeah, and it's just crazy though with that Bitconnect token. Let me just see if I can get this right. The Bitconnect token, up to the last minute, it was still selling. Now, like I got a chart here, or from CoinMarketCap back in January 2018.
Should still exist.
Is it really?
It should. I mean, it's
There
just
it is, 26.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
right here. But
it's just a blockchain, so people still have it. I've talked to people who've like, yeah, I actually still have Bitconnect coin.
I've
Yeah.
heard they still have a little community, faithful followers.
Yeah, so Bitconnect actually changed their symbol to BCC.
Okay.
Even though Bitconnect BCH existed before Bitcoin Cash.
Right.
Actually, no. That's what it was. Bitcoin Cash wanted to use BCC, but they couldn't
Because Bitconnect.
because Bitconnect existed.
That's
So
humorous.
they had to go with BCH, which they kind of felt like it wasn't as smooth as like BCC. But
Right.
anyway.
I mean, but if you look though, I mean, look at that market cap, over 2 billion back then. I mean, so
number 26.
yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, you look at these prices for some of these cryptos. This is basically at the peak for that week.
NEM
And
number 6.
it's crazy because some of these cryptos, like, and we'll go back to that. I just wanted to, as you were talking, that to show that, but like the price, some of these cryptos were basically scams, and people just bought them because they heard, like you said, some YouTuber, anybody go and recommend this stuff.
Yeah.
Not really doing any research, not looking into it, not really seeing what they have there, who's on the thing. There were a lot of things where you look at the pictures and they were reusing the same pictures for the. I think I saw one where they had a picture of like actors, like Jude Law was like one of the creators of the coin. Nobody realized, like,
God.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is.
And it's no laughing matter, man. I mean, the BitConnect scam, like you could see, it was over $2 billion. Like, then that was real, that was real. That was people's money in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm
People
sure
lost.
you could YouTube some videos probably of some people recorded their reactions, and it's like some sad shit. Like people put like their life savings into this, and because they just got sucked in, and it was working for a couple months or even just a couple weeks, and you thought it was great, so you just get greedy, and it's not even greed. You just think it's legit, and you're just naive, and
Yeah, you think like, oh,
people lost everything. So
it's like, oh, crypto, like everything's going up, everything's doing great. It's
Yep.
must be some new technology that it's earning me all this money. Let me, that's what people, but
So
like you said, they're naive. They're not really looking into things. They're not understanding that, like, sometime, because even today, you don't really know. I mean, there could be some things out there that you didn't look, you look, you see something, you're like, it looks too good to be true. I mean, even now, I don't know if you looked at, like, I'm not saying it's a scam at all, but like, BlockFi and stuff like that, where, you give them your Bitcoin, you're earning interest on loaning them your Bitcoin. And then it's like the interest, I think, was, I don't know, it's like 5% or something like that. Or
it's pretty
it's like,
nice.
it is really nice, especially, and you're earning Bitcoin. So like, if you have one Bitcoin and you're earning like 5 million Satoshis in a year just for, doing nothing. But again, now you're taking that risk of, losing the custodial or ownership of that Bitcoin and something goes wrong, you're out of luck.
Right. Yeah,
So
there's always risk involved.
right.
Anytime there's any type of earnings, there is risk. So you have to really understand that risk and have an exit plan. You know, if
Yeah.
you're just dollar cost averaging and investing and just accumulating, like, you don't have to worry about that stuff. There's really no risk in that. It's a long-term play. You're gonna work out. But if you're earning interest on stuff, then you have to have an exit plan. And the exit plan typically coincides with like the price that it will fall to or something. You know, you have to have a stop loss and get out and protect your ass.
Yeah.
So
And also pay attention to see, what's going on there. Maybe log in at least once every couple days, depending upon how much you got in there. I mean, if I had a lot in there, I'd probably log in every day just to make sure everything's okay. Because I know I saw something on Twitter where BlockFi actually had a maintenance problem or something like that, and people started freaking out.
yeah,
Started going like, "Oh my God, did I just get exit scammed?"
absolutely. Yeah, I've been in DeFi since September, and I check every day. You know.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. There's a risk. You know, I'm earning interest.
Yeah, you're in control, and that's what you need to do. Is if you're in control, you have to make sure that you're kind of supervising everything and making sure that it's working properly and everything's okay.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of why I'm into the Ethereum
Look
staking.
at this Bitcoin dropping right now.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
popped and popped a little bit, but I liked the Ethereum staking, like, because my last time we talked, I was like, oh, I can make passive income right now by doing DeFi,
right.
but there's really no real intrinsic risk with the Ethereum staking because you're doing it all yourself. You know, you're building it out and you're not relying on some DeFi platform or some other
Right.
Ethereum smart contract not getting compromised somehow or whatever. So
Well,
it's less riskier, more of an investment, which you
but
don't.
also you're supporting the network too, which is
Yeah,
another important part.
exactly. Do your part.
Like you're definitely making it more decentralized by having more people getting involved. Jeff, what were some of the scams that you were going to discuss that you saw?
I'm going to pull up a few that I noticed that came up recently. I'll do my screen share. This is a more recent one. Oh, this just came up because I think everyone who's been in the crypto space for a while has heard of Bitconnect was one of the biggest and most
There we go.
famous scams.
Yep. We're just talking
But
about
this guy just got sentenced to some jail time, so he actually had to pay the price. But I think I wanted to point out from this that a lot of times in crypto, these people won't be caught because they just set up an anonymous, smaller scale kind of a thing. This guy got caught. I mean, at least he's going to be paying the price, but this is years later now. And that doesn't mean that anyone's getting their money back. He's just going to jail for it.
Well, it looks like,
And
2 10-year terms?
John Pigginton.
10-year terms.
Pigotten.
That's a
They
lot.
got him.
They got him, all right.
Which is the part that I thought was kind of ridiculous, too. They said he couldn't do any more financial services for like 7 years or something.
Wow.
Like,
Was
you're
he
going to let
gonna
him
be
do
from
this
jail?
again? You just got to wait a couple of years? That's great.
That's crazy.
I see it here now. This was another one. PayPal's been in the news with crypto. And this is more related, I guess, to like phishing scams and kind of be careful about websites you click on too and the spelling and the characters in them.
Yes.
Something I do, I have like any of the exchanges I use, when I go to them, I verify they're legit. First time I sign in, then I save them to my bookmarks. And I'll click
Right.
that. I never type it in. I never click some other link. I know I have one link saved that's for me that I know is safe. It's the legit exchange or whatever other service I'm using. Yeah, this one, people got a phishing scam. They got redirected to a fake PayPal website, which redirected them to, they ended up stealing their credit card information. So they didn't get scammed for crypto, but they got scammed for their credit card information.
Right. And I would rather lose my credit card information than my crypto, because the credit card information,
Agreed.
it falls on a third party being basically responsible at that point versus your crypto. Once you send that or get that taken, it's gone forever. You're not getting it back. You can't call anybody. You can't complain to nobody.
Yeah.
You
I
make
think
that
that's probably
mistake.
the most important thing with any of these scams we're speaking about is recognize anything you do, you are 100% responsible.
Right. And that's why,
There's no one that can come help you or reimburse you.
yeah.
Maybe the people will get arrested one day, but your funds are lost.
And they might not get caught because some of these people, I mean, I'm sure they're pretty good at covering their tracks and
Oh, I'll
stuff
get
like
to that. I'm getting to a good story that actually directly I was a part of.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm building up to that, build a suspense. This is somebody who was a veteran trader. ADA
Right.
is Cardano, but he ended up on a fake CoinDesk website. So this is somebody who should know better. He ended up, where is it? Right here, you can see they added the little. I don't even know what you call that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an
I
American.
see
We don't
that.
use that symbol. But
And
it
you
was
wouldn't
fake.
notice it.
Wouldn't notice if you weren't looking. And they just mimicked the actual CoinDesk site, which he tended to use, so he didn't realize. And then even the links on there were faked. It led him to another decoy to the Cardano Foundation website, where foundation was misspelled. He ended up losing funds. Oh no,
And
he didn't end up losing funds. So I guess he just shared this to let other people know to be careful. So I mean, even
that's
experienced people can make mistakes, but that's why, like, if I was using the CoinDesk platform, I wouldn't go click a CoinDesk link. I would go to my link and then find what they were talking about. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, because you gotta be careful because even it goes to the texting and stuff like that too, where Greg's friend actually got what happened was Ledger got hacked, where their database or something was hacked, and they got personal information of people, phone numbers and stuff like that. And Greg, you can maybe tell a little bit more about this, where your friend received a random text message from Ledger.
Yeah, so Ledger got their database hacked of their client data. So when you buy a Ledger, you fill out what your name is, what your address is, and I think they have a phone number option as well, which you should always try to avoid. Don't put your phone number on the internet, but people do. And they basically sent out mass phishing texts to all those phone numbers. And one thing I noticed is there's different generational ethics that people have developed. I think our generation is probably the most, like, as far as like a radar for bullshit on the internet. I think we were middle schoolers when we first got on the internet and watched everything grow from nothing. So we've seen everything from the beginning and we've understood, like, from the beginning what to look out for. Whereas our parents' generation, they're late in the game. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They just kind of throw everything out there. My dad on Facebook, he literally, like, anytime he posts a picture, he changes his profile pic. Like, like that's his idea of uploading a photo. And like he has a new profile picture every day, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah, post on somebody's wall.
And
Say,
then
hey.
I'm like, you post the pictures on your wall, and then you like share the pictures, and it's like, I don't want to share my pictures. Like, I don't want to share. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're on Facebook. That's what it is.
It's Facebook. That's what you do. I'm like, well, how do I like block people from seeing my photos? I'm like,
Don't
well,
share
you
them.
unfriend the people that you're with. Like, they just have no clue.
Yeah.
And then likewise, the generation that's younger than us, I'd say the teenagers and the 20 somethings, they're an interesting breed because they grew up in it and they were immersed in higher end technology and a higher, a better quality user interface of internet and iPhones and stuff like that. Like, we didn't have any of that shit, but everything's so smooth and fluid and pretty for this younger generation that they're so trusting with sharing their data and just like, oh, there's a text from Ledger. Like, let me, this is legit. Like,
Oh, Hey,
No
nice
thought,
picture.
like no sniff of bullshit
How
whatsoever.
convenient
So
that they would do
Yeah.
this for me.
click on this. Yeah, this website says Ledger on it, so I'm good. Like I clicked on the. He sent me the website, and
Yeah.
literally like the E in Ledger dot whatever was like, I don't know. It was different. It was shaped different. Like
Like
it was
like like
weird.
the coin desk thing.
Yeah, it had like like I don't
Uh,
know, different
yeah.
language style E, you know. So right away, like the side of your peripheral vision just sees that stuff by now. If you're one of us who have grown
Right.
up with this internet, but he had no idea. But basically, he went on the website and it said you have to put your seed phrase in and update your firmware, and he did it. You know, I'm like, I had a conversation with him through text, and it was just terrible because like I already knew, and then it finally hit me like, did you put your seed phrase anywhere? Did you type it in anywhere? And he's like, yeah, I typed it in on the website. I'm like, it's done. It's gone. You're done. You got hacked. You know?
It's not even hacked. You got like you
Yeah.
Phishing
you
scam,
gave them
basically.
the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. You gave them everything. So that was a dark little text, and it still bothers me today because he was one of like the first dudes that I got in on it, and I kind of felt like, damn, like you're one of my disciples, and how did I ever get through to you to like never ever share your seed phrase with anything or anybody?
Yeah, that's that. I tell people, even like if I were to help somebody, like, hey man, they getting into crypto, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna make a wallet right now? Like, yeah, and they start writing it down. I like do this. Like, I don't even want to see it.
Yeah,
So like, it's terrible. It really is.
yeah. So unfortunately, I don't know how you learn how to sniff out bullshit, but
Well,
um, you gotta question all this shit.
Just assume everything's a scam. If anyone's asking you for information, like even if the IRS calls you and starts asking for personal information, I'm going to call them back and call the actual IRS number from the government website. Anything
yeah,
like that. It's not just
or
crypto. Don't be so
yeah,
trusted. I got one of those ledger links and I almost just laughed like, yeah, right, I'm not clicking that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it
I
happens.
didn't get one personally. I don't know. It was because I was in Ledger like early 2017, so maybe it was like a different set of data, or maybe I didn't put my phone number in. I don't know,
Yeah,
but I didn't get one personally. But
just that's the whole situation is crazy, and there's always gonna be something that happens because that's the thing with data, is a lot of stuff can be hacked, and luckily for crypto, it's been pretty good. But you look at all these places like Target, Equifax, right? Equifax is like a
mm-hmm.
major company that has social security numbers and basically credit checks, and that information got out. So this stuff is not secure. That's why blockchains and stuff are like so important, and the crypto in general, like the industry, is important because you would hope that some of these companies, and you go like, oh, and that kind of goes to like Bitcoin is amazing, right? But then that's why other blockchains, like maybe Ethereum, might come in. Where if Equifax maybe built put their information on the blockchain and maybe had it secured properly, maybe that information wouldn't have got hacked, and people wouldn't have to worry about loans getting taken out in their names because this information is out there by somebody. Somebody has this information. You know,
They wouldn't be able to get that bulk hundreds of millions of users information.
and
Potentially
it's worth a lot of money.
they could target one at a time, they could target people individually. And that kind of speaks again to the responsibility you take on in crypto and blockchain.
yeah,
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is a price to pay for that. If you make a mistake, you can get burned. But then on the other side of things, a huge organization like Equifax can't get hacked, and like the entire population of the United States now has their information out on the dark web.
right. Yeah,
There's a trade-off to everything, and
I don't know if
I
it's
prefer the responsibility side of things.
I don't know if that's for a whole nother podcast to kind of explain like the differences of internets that are being created with the blockchain. Like it's a whole new internet. Like
yeah,
just to summarize, people don't know that the internet that we use today was built prior to the invention of cryptography. Like they didn't have cryptography in the 80s and the early 90s. It just didn't exist, and they knew it didn't exist, but they built on it anyway. So if you want to call the internet, it's an unsecured data network, data transfer network.
Yeah.
But with blockchain, you actually have a secure data transfer network because it's built with cryptography incorporated into it. So it's, it's a secure
That would be
internet.
good to go through in a podcast. Terms like trustless and things like that.
Yeah. So I
For
mean,
now, I guess we want to circle back to scams.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
definitely.
I didn't get to my personal scam story yet, so
Go ahead.
I'm excited to get to it.
Let's do it.
We're leading up to that. So this one I was kind of involved in. This was a nice little scam called Bitcoin Private. This is BTCP. It still exists. And John McAfee was pumping it at the time. I almost wish I didn't just use his name. I don't want him coming after me. Sorry, John, if you hear this. But yeah, I was new into crypto, never been an investor before. I dumped some money into it, more than I care to admit, but a survivable amount. So basically, they had a pre-mine that they didn't tell anybody they did a pre-mine. So the people that created this coin kept most of the coin. What can we see here? I don't know. There's a lot of technical jargon here. I just pulled this up because it reminded me of the whole story. But essentially, I bought it through an exchange called HitBTC, which does not have a good reputation. And there was some kind of, they were swapping the coins for a new version of the coin. So I deposited it on HitBTC. Then I don't remember all the details. Maybe I should have done more research in it. At any rate, I piled into this without doing research. Luckily, I was able to withdraw it from HitBTC before the project collapsed. HitBTC delisted it and then wasn't returning their funds to other people. So I actually still have this. It's worth almost nothing. It's not even worth selling, so I'll just hold on to it just because it's kind of humorous.
It's a relic.
Oh,
It's a relic.
Of,
Bitcoin private. So it's one of those things I was excited about. Wow, it's Bitcoin, but it's private. And then I just dumped money into it without knowing what I was doing. And that's on me. That's money lost. I made that choice, my own responsibility. And also dealing with a shady exchange like HitBTC. Luckily, I at least got to keep my useless crypto. But there was a lot of people that didn't, and they had a lot more money into it than I did.
Yeah. Damn.
Shady exchange.
Crazy.
I guess then can roll me into. You guys want to chime in or?
Yeah, and actually, talking about this because I'm assuming you're going into some types of cryptocurrencies that basically were exit scams or
shit coins,
yeah, literal shit coins. And like our podcast name is Graveyard Crypto, but it's almost like when you talk about some of these things, it's the crypto graveyard because these coins are literally dead. And it's there's a lot of them. And once you go through that, I can even show you previous charts of some of these coins that were in the top 10 for, a year. And then you'd be like, I never heard of any of these coins. And
they're gone.
Yeah.
Not even that long ago either, just a few years ago. Yeah.
Right. So that's, and these are top 10 coins like out of hundreds or thousands and poof, just dust, as
and it's gone.
Well, I'm getting to the one that actually did disappear on me.
Oh, shit.
So at the time in my infancy of investing in crypto, I was excited and I wanted to buy the cheapest coins I could find. Because I was like, if they could just go to $1, I'll make this much money. So I was using this exchange, Cryptopia, because they listed a lot of these just worthless, terrible coins, which I put some money into. But this is an example of things to keep, maybe not necessarily a scam, but something to look out for is some of these exchanges. Look at their reputations. And again, if you lose your funds, it's kind of on you. Cryptopia was hacked, and just recently that some people started getting their money back. But it was an exchange that listed a lot of just pointless cryptos. I went there because I could get them there. But then the exchange got hacked. Well, I guess they didn't take security very seriously. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, and that's also too where they say not your keys, not your crypto. Even if you do buy some of these coins that are not good, at least be able to withdraw these things into a wallet, so at least you actually have ownership of them. So if these exchanges do get hacked or have problems or whatever, you're not left, you know, you're not losing everything. Because I mean, what was the one in Japan, the big one, the big hack,
Oh, Gox.
Mount Gox,
Mhm.
and I don't know how, Greg, you might be more familiar with this because this is a little
Yeah.
way back, but this was probably one of the big ones that was hacked.
Yeah, that was the big, that was the first real cycle where you had Bitcoin charge from under 100 to like 12 or 1300 at the top. And then, yeah, I mean, that was the biggest exchange at the time was Mount Gox. It
What
was
did
just
Mount Gox stand for?
Magic the Gathering
Gathering, right?
exchange.
Yeah.
So the first place that people started really using Bitcoin to transfer value was like those Magic card traders, Magic the Gathering
Nerds.
card traders, because they were all over the globe, So you want
Yeah.
to trade the freaking cards. You were able to use Bitcoin to transfer the value across the globe and then mail the cards or whatever you had to do from there. But it got hacked. Um, I've honestly, it's been so long. I forgot some of the nitty gritty details of it, but
Well,
it's still going on today as far as like,
Reimbursement and stuff, yeah.
yeah, reimbursing people and things like that. So
well, and that's why I go back to make sure you withdraw your crypto from these exchanges, because if you have crypto in a wallet, like cold storage, whatever, it's probably not going to be ever hacked. Hopefully, but as an exchange, it's easy for that to happen because all they're, it could be somebody inside the company for all we know, and all it takes is one thing, and your everything's gone,
yeah,
and it's gone, literally.
yeah. I mean, that's like the whole, and that became really popular for the older Bitcoiners to spread that message because of that incident. Whereas maybe some of the platforms that we use today are like so much more like legit or insured or backed, and the people who are running them. Like there's people's heads you could take if something happened,
Yeah,
whereas in that scenario it was really Wild West. There's no accountability or anything. So maybe the stigma of like you gotta store your own stuff and like get a ledger and don't leave anything on the exchanges. Maybe that's like an overboard kind of reaction to have nowadays. Maybe like, I don't know, leaving it somewhere is not that bad, or you don't have to be that panicky. But
I
back in the
think
day,
here in America
definitely.
and particularly New York, I know Gemini and Coinbase are both registered in the United States and New York, and they're insured and regulated. So
Right.
if you were to keep them on an exchange, those are probably safer choices than many of the other
Yeah,
ones out there,
you're just giving up you're giving up some liberty at that point, because you're trusting in another party. And I mean, if there was some type of crazy events, that exchange can, be victim to authorities, and you won't have access to your asset.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
There's a
Well,
trade-off for all these things, yeah.
well, and what I would say about that too is, what was it, Bittrex, I think, and even going to Binance, right? There was, if you're telling, like we were saying before, we were talking about how at some point Binance is going to Binance US or whatever, and you won't be able to use it. And if they lock up your account, I mean, are you basically not able to withdraw these funds? I mean, I remember on Bittrex when they basically said like certain people in certain states or even countries or whatever, if you don't withdraw after this time, you lose your funds. And somebody might forget it. Maybe like they have like, oh, I got $1,000 or something, and they forget. Life goes on. They get busy. The price 10x's. Now they got $10,000 worth of crypto on there, and they go to withdraw, and then everything's locked out because they didn't realize that the country was basically not
Geo-blocked.
right.
I was just telling Greg, I just got an email from Binance from my old Binance account that I had logged in from an IP address from the United States. I don't use it anymore. I haven't in ages. I pulled everything out of there because the writing was on the wall that this was going to happen. But I just got the email a few days ago. They said you got 2 weeks if you have any funds to withdraw them. Otherwise, that's it.
Yeah, and I personally know somebody that I was just talking to that has some Bitcoin on there. And when he told me that, I said, "Oh, it's on Binance," and he says, "Yeah." And I was like, "Please withdraw that immediately and put it in, cold storage, or just at least bring it back to Coinbase, because if it's stuck on Binance and you forget about it, you're gonna lose."
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take responsibility of your funds and pay attention to where it is and what's going on with it. That's definitely important.
Very important. I want to touch on too. I actually should probably do an affiliate link for this, but I bought the book from Nick Patel, an altcoin trader's handbook. He talks about in that book, again, in the early days, he would do his own research and invest in altcoins, but he would remove them from exchanges and take custody of them. I don't think he mentioned which crypto it was that he got the wallet for that he downloaded, but there was malicious software in this wallet because it was a small crypto project, and it gave these people access to his computer. Any exchange he was logged into, any software wallets he had on his computer, they accessed everything, and he lost all his crypto.
Wow.
So even that, if you're going to take custody of your crypto, you got to do research on wallets, and there's different methods to do that. I've been careful about that. I join the communities of the particular cryptocurrencies, like Komodo I was into for a while. I was in their Discord and their Telegram groups. You can communicate with the developers and stuff like that. They'll tell you which wallets are the good ones to use. But again, if you're going to take responsibility, you got to really take responsibility. Don't just assume that something you download is going to do what it says it's going to do.
Right.
That was a painful lesson he said he learned at the time. Fortunately, he was able to bounce back, and he seems to be doing well for himself now. But it's good that he shared that lesson. I would have never thought of that.
Absolutely.
That you could just download a wallet that now they have access to your computer. They can do whatever they want,
Oh, man.
You got to pay attention to what's going on.
Definitely be careful out there. The excitement, this bull market's starting to rage. The excitement, careful where you put your funds. Taking responsibility. If you lose it forever.
Absolutely.
Which I guess, unless you guys want to add on to that, I could roll into my exit scam story.
Yeah, let's do it.
In theory, anyway. So when I was on Cryptopia, one of the projects that was very attractive to me was a project called Embercoin. Because what did I do? I'm going to get this close enough. I think I bought 3 million Embercoin for $97. They were so cheap. And I didn't understand supply. I didn't understand the inflation rates or anything. I was like, if this could just go to $1, I'll be a millionaire. Yeah. That's the only thought I had. And I put $100 into it. Who cares? Buy $100 scratch off is pretty much what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was very excited about it at the time. Not long afterwards, started getting information that CTO just went missing. There were other people that supposedly on the dev team that said they were like looking in local hospitals and all this different stuff. Like, no, he just left. Took the money and run.
Damn.
That project just fell completely apart. You can see here it was printing. I didn't realize this was inappropriate. But it was just trillions of coins being created on a daily basis. All kinds of scammy stuff. And I didn't do any research on this. Again, I only lost $100, so it wasn't the end of the world. They even the community even tried to save it. They were going to turn it into a project called Chartis, but that fell through because at that point, what are they going to do with it? So my point there was that was my my own experience of kind of getting exit scammed. Luckily, it wasn't a large amount of money or anything, but watching this play out was kind of entertaining at the time.
Yeah, and
that was Cryptopia offered all these shit coins, and I just picked the cheapest one, threw some money into it, and then this is what happened. Like I said, luckily I didn't get so greedy that I put thousands and thousands of dollars into it, but so there wasn't a lot of pain there, but still a lesson learned,
Well, and the thing is too is you only put $100 in, but there probably was somebody that put 1,000 or 10,000 or something like that, and those definitely got crushed. Or they traded their Bitcoin, their valuable Bitcoin, thinking that they're going to make a nice quick profit or something like that, trying to trade alts, try to pump that up, and they lost all of it.
I actually saw, because I was looking through this subreddit a little bit. There was somebody saying 2020 is going to be the year that Embercoin comes back because they have it sitting on a wallet on their computer. Still staking. So it says they're earning Embercoin, but there's no exchanges that take it. It basically doesn't exist anymore. It just exists on a piece of software in their computer, but it's nothing.
I wonder how many people are
still trying to hold on to the faith that it might be something one day. I think I still have mine somewhere in a piece of software somewhere. I just don't care.
Yeah.
That was my little taste of a crypto scam that I had to go through.
Man.
And
There's definitely,
I mean, if there's, go ahead, Matt.
No, I said there was definitely a bunch of those coins. I mean, if you click here, like what you're saying, was showing the different type of cryptos that there are. That I mean, the list is endless, and anybody, what you don't realize is anybody can make a cryptocurrency. I mean, right? Didn't you say like there was like a Trump coin, a New York coin? Just buying it because you're like, oh, that sounds funny, and people
At
buy
least
this
those
stuff.
still exist. Embercoin doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, but again, anybody. I mean, we can make a cryptocurrency. We can make a graveyard crypto, and we could make only 1,000 of them, and then be like, oh, it's worth whatever, and pump it up, and then people dump it, and the next thing you know, some people are with a coin that's useless, with no actual use case or anything like that. Because again, that's where you got to be careful of the greed situation where people get real greedy and they're not really they're just thinking about like getting rich quick versus building wealth and assets and doing research and looking into things and seeing like a long-term kind of situation. So definitely
graveyard DeFi coming soon. Keep a lookout.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my own little personal journey. Like I said, I pulled up a couple of more relevant, newer things that have been happening, things to look out for, and then a few of my own experiences: shady exchanges, exit scams, failed projects. So that was my little journey for our scam podcast.
There you
So
go.
that's why you
So
tell
lots
people
of scams.
Buyer beware. That's always the thing, just
always
beware of what you're getting into. Look who, and ask other people that maybe have more experience too, because maybe they've been through something like that and they're a little bit more cautious.
I would definitely agree with that. Something that's been very helpful for me is using Discord and Telegram, the two messaging apps, and joining various communities. You can find a lot of helpful people there if you're in the right place. Reddit too. Just browse around, type in some searches, crypto scams, or if you're looking at a particular project, there's a lot of information out there that you can find.
Yeah.
The doing your research part, very, very important.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest hurdle with all this stuff is the education. That's why, anybody that can get on and talk about this stuff is doing community service. Hopefully someone listens to this and just,
doesn't
lose
their life savings.
Does their own research,
Yep.
Just, that's why they say don't put your life savings into it, or dollar cost average. So, if you can only afford $10 a week or $100 a week, whatever it is, just do that. And then
that's a winning strategy, dollar cost average,
Mm-hmm.
Versus trying to time the market. I mean, obviously, if you get lucky, like right now, I'm looking, Bitcoin went from 19,500 earlier today, and it's almost at 17,600. So, it could be a buying opportunity. It might go lower.
Well, it's always good to buy red if you could stomach it.
When there's blood in the streets.
That's when you buy.
This is a pretty good infographic I found on Reddit. I'll actually throw this link in the description, but it at least touches on many of the different things to kind of keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
In the crypto scam world. I don't know if anything's jumping out to you guys.
No, well, some of that stuff we were talking about, like the clone websites, Ponzi's, um,
Malware, I
pump,
mentioned that wallet.
pump and dumps, right? Fake exchanges, even the cloud mining. Where we were talking some of that, some of these cloud mining companies where you would put money into it, and they would be giving you saying that you're part owner of a mining thing. Like, some of them are actually scams. I forgot, and I know we touched on Genesis. I don't know if they were necessarily a scam or not, but there was another one that was out there that was definitely a scam. I can't
Yeah.
recall the name, but I remember at one point looking at it and going, "Oh man, maybe I should." I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't do it, but I was looking at it and I thought about it.
Right.
There's probably somebody out there going like, maybe this is a way to do it and get in there. So,
Pump and
and
dumps
malware
I've
too.
never fallen for, but I've gotten, oh, that's actually something I wanted to bring up too. I started getting again on my personal Twitter account. I don't want to mention these entities or people because they may be legit businesses. I just won't answer them because it's too much of a risk of being a scam. But I've
Yeah.
started getting messages, hey, I have this service, I offer this service, and one that I get in Discord fairly often, being a member of some of these crypto groups, is these pump and dump groups. They say, we're going to pump this coin on social media at X time. What you need to know is the people that are organizing that pump and dump already have that coin. You're going to buy it, and you're the one pumping it. So they're going to dump on you. You're not going to become part of that. You're not going to be the winner in that scenario. It's
Right.
another one of those things. It sounds too good to be true. If you feel like you're going to be the one scamming someone with a team, like just don't do that. Get karma, and you lose your money.
Absolutely.
Fake exchanges we touched on. ICOs, the new coin. I don't know how relevant that really is anymore. New projects, I suppose. Got to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I mean some of those ICOs was the big thing back, I guess, 2 years ago. So, but this is definitely something where just share this link. In
Yeah,
fact, that should
definitely will.
probably be the top link to look at because anybody that's getting into crypto should really just educate. I mean, a lot of this stuff is all about education, and to me, there's never enough. I'm always learning. I feel like and then sometimes like you start looking into something and you go like you think you know something, then you look at something and you go, wow, I still have so much more to go, and it's all the time like that because this this technology is just always evolving and improving and adding things, and it's just moving so fast. So if you miss out on a year, or if you blink in a year from now and you look at it, you might be like, what happened? I missed out on so much. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely moving fast. It's evolving rapidly, and you just kind of try to have to keep updating yourself and pay attention to news. And there's plenty of YouTube channels that you can go into and watch, or podcasts and stuff that you'll definitely help keep up on that kind of stuff because it just never ends.
Yeah, I mean, I think one cool thing about being in this space is that it's one of the last places to be a pioneer in. Well, it's like the new
Yeah.
frontier because it's unknown. It's, you're stepping into the unknown, building out something completely new here as we completely embrace living in digital world, So,
Yeah.
so we don't know what's going to happen, but that's what makes everything so exciting. So there's something to learn every single day.
Just don't learn it the hard way. That's the recommendation.
You got to get your wounds, man. You got to get your wounds,
Get small ones at least. That $100 Ember coin wound was very survivable. It's barely a scar.
Yeah, I know.
Learn
Same
though.
thing with my Bitconnect and even the Genesis stuff, There was only just small loss at the end of it, but not to say that there wasn't a lot of victims out there who lost a
Yeah,
lot.
like your friends or something like that, where he lost everything
Yeah,
because they,
those those
so
hurt. Those hurt the worst, It's
so
not
you're better
like,
off getting the small ones
yep, yep,
and getting hit with something where it just wipes you out clean and basically like and it's probably not only does it do that, but I bet you your friend is just so unmotivated to like it would take a lot for him to want to buy back in because now
it,
he's
yeah, it
like
takes the wind out of your sails, And then it's going to take the wind out of your sails even more when you don't get back in, you know.
Right.
My kind of knee-jerk feeling for him was like, if you could replace that Bitcoin, like taking dollars and just getting back to where you were, like that would be the best case scenario. Like just look at it as your dollars got stolen from you rather than your Bitcoin. Just replace that and look at it as a dollar loss.
Got to build back. Don't quit.
If you did that, then he would have made out with these prices, because that, you know, I think it was around what 10 or 11 when it got hacked.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe 10. Maybe yeah.
Should I look over here? I see a 17. Ooh,
That's not
a
so
great
bad.
candle.
Yeah. I'm actually watching it on the TV in front of me. It went down to like 17.5 before. Now it's like 17.76.
At least if you could get that RSI back into a healthy range, you could start to be calm. Get calm, let that thing reset a little bit.
Which is good, because that's a healthy kind of correction. You want that.
Oh yeah, you gotta let that breathe. That's a nice exhale.
Yeah, I mean,
All those leveraged people just wash those
Right.
gamblers out a little bit and then proceed from there.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them. Not this time.
Yeah.
Well,
Wash
and
them out.
it's funny because we were just talking about, like, I don't usually margin trade, and I was saying how a short would be, like, before it was like 18,500. I was like, oh, it probably looks like it's a good time to short right now. And lo
Yeah.
and behold, you know, except I know, knowing me, as soon as I would short Bitcoin, I'd get wrecked. And
Yeah, let me know if you actually open a short so I can open a long. Then at least one of us will win.
Yeah, right.
You know?
There you go.
it's a win-win.
I know. I'm actually thinking about buying right now.
I just did, actually, while we were talking.
Did you? Did you buy Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I thought about Ethereum too. I mean,
Like, how
yeah,
would you play this? Because I'm just looking at the 1 hour candles, and I would typically wait for like at least one green candle to close after to show, you know, a swing. But that's a nice wick there.
that's what I'm saying. That's why when I'm looking at this thing on the TV and I saw it go down, I said, I was like, I
Yeah.
bought Bitcoin, I think, yesterday, but I was like, I should buy some today, because that's a discount.
Yeah, especially because you have the 1 hour in the under 30 RSI, the 15 minute. So I mean, at least for a quick scalp would be a good trade. 15 minutes looking pretty nice right now.
It's hard to say. We're in dangerous territory because so many people are talking about a bigger pullback than even this.
Oh, good.
You know,
Let him pull it back.
the old catch a falling knife
Yeah.
cliche.
Well, I think we're in a bull run, so it's stupid to short when you're trending up.
Yeah.
If we were trending down, then I would say fine. I think we're seeing some of that. It's just probably all those
That's why I drew
people.
this other line. I mean, you see we wicked all the way down here, but we're still in a strong uptrend all the way back from this point. This is just the 1 hour chart.
Yeah.
Go all the way back. We dropped down to, if you stay above 12,000, we're still in an uptrend, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the daily is concerned, I mean, yeah.
Look
All
at
right.
that. That was definitely a big, it went down to 17,150. I see in this chart right here.
That's
And then
great.
it spiked right back up.
Wow.
Somebody bought it all.
Crazy. Someone
It's
bought it
about
all up.
$1,000 drop. Like, boom.
Yeah,
That's why
a
it's
lot
so
of
nice to
buyers out
buy
there.
red, because you know it's going to get back up eventually to that high. So
Yeah.
it's like you're getting a deal, 5% discount right now.
And even Ethereum, Ethereum was over $600 this morning.
Was it?
Yeah, something like that. So, you know, $600, it's 525 right now.
That's still down 50% from its all-time high, and Bitcoin's like right there.
Fuck it. I'm buying back.
I think we're pretty much wrapping up our scam episode here, right?
I think
You guys got any more scam stories?
Yeah,
you got any
no,
scams? I don't.
just,
I guess maybe I'll
buyer
wrap this one
beware.
up. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So what inspired the scam episode was our comment section. And I didn't clear this with you guys before, but I feel like you'll be okay with it. So anybody watching or listening to this, feel free to treat the scammers in the comments section like a graveyard punching bag and just abuse them for fun. We'll jump in. It'll be a blast. So let's at least have fun with them, you know?
Seriously, they could just read their things. They don't even know what the hell Bitcoin is, the way that they talk about it. It's retarded.
And also, if you click on their actual links, they were probably just created like recently. They have no followers. They don't have any likes on video. You know, like it. You could just, you know, again, and if like let's just say you saw something like, oh, this looks good, like click into it, look into it before you just start to say like, oh, let me go call this guy on WhatsApp and contact him and get.
Yeah, phone a friend. Ask them what they think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have some
Yeah.
intervention. Don't do it.
Yeah. We're in this together, you know?
definitely.
All right.
Well,
Well,
thank you, everybody.
yeah. See you next time.
That's it. Later.